What's the matter, Paul? Frank never talks to you? Well, he's mocking you? That's really making you mad, I could see. Okay. Why do you say that? He just sits there with a creepy stare? Well, Paul, he's just a picture. Yeah, he's not an animation like you are. Do you want him to animate? Yeah, okay. Well, maybe we could ask the viewers if they'd like Frank to animate. So let's just add that to the conversation. Okay? Hi, welcome to another episode of the Mighty Code Coder. I'm Rob Fitzgerald, here to make you great and help you innovate. Using Cloud9 and Mr. Lou's lessons, we are creating another data source called an object. An object is created by class definitions. In the previous video, we saw how to set up a class file with Mr. Lou's Big 3. We set up a default constructor to build our objects. But what if I told you that you can set up a class that allows you to build a custom object? Well, you can, and that is what we're going to show you in this lecture. There are times where the default constructor will do. However, a good class lets you build your objects with different types of constructors because, well, as consumers, we're used to building things how we want them. I remember playing video games, NHL hockey, to name one, that lets you build a hockey player with different size, speed, and power, and then you could play with him. It was awesome. This is a good example of building a class with multiple constructors so that your object can be custom. So let's get going. We're going to start where we left off from the last video with the phone class. So let's get going. All right. So the first thing I have to do is open up Safari, and that's not what I used to have to do with IDs, but it is now. And let's go ahead. I have my class always go through Adhesive. It's their school account, and I always like to code in that to make sure that they're not going to get into some snafus with privileges. So I like coding within the educational boundaries also. So in this video, I'm going to add the phone class. All right. And so I will open up Cloud9 to our default constructor as shown in the last video. All right. So use Google authentication. Great way to, double authentication, you guys, to save from any people hacking your system or your email. There we go. All right. And we go to, I'm going to work in CSA. And then in CSA, I'm going to go to AWS Educate. This allows me to see exactly how the students are, or what boundaries they are working in. All right, so I'll go to my AWS account here. It's getting lower every day. I think I had $7.04 yesterday. Let's see what I have left today. Seems like it's really drilling down. $6.92. Something's taking up some serious. Something's winding down. I got to figure out what it is. All right, so I'll go to Cloud9. There it is. And this was the IDE I created yesterday, and now it takes a little while to get going. Actually, this seems kind of quicker. So let's see if I could pop into this faster than I thought. So I think for the first few videos, it's important to start from scratch so students get to see the route in which I'm taking, and hopefully they take the same route. So it is still taking a little while. There's nothing to report. I do ask all my students to stay on their daily schedule, Monday through Friday. Today is Coding Monday, so please stay coding. And you can code in Code9. Some of your adhesive questions are not in Code9. They're actually in Code Sculptor or Repillit, so you might want to do it in Repillit. All right, so here it is. And yesterday we actually created this right here. This was a default. Actually, no, actually, I've got to, this was some of the stuff I was working on yesterday to prepare for this video. So I don't want, we actually ended right here. So let's start there today, okay? And I bet you my other class, I'm going to save this, and I bet you my other class has the same problem in it. And so let me go to it. Yeah, so I created some new stuff in here. So I want to get rid of this too. Okay, so there we go. So this is what we ended with in the last video. And I will also save that. And should I compile those? I don't think I need to compile them, but I probably should. But let's do the code first. All right, so here's my phone, and this is the default constructor right here. Okay, so we put all our stuff in here. It's using global variables from up here. All right, but I can't put anything in. In fact, why don't I go and try to put something in, and we'll see what the errors we get. All right, so I'll go over here, and instead of saying my phone, my cell 2 equals new my phone, let's go ahead and put in some variables in here. Let's say I want 128 megabytes, and then I want the price to be $5.99. See, I'll make my own custom phone here, and I want not AT&T, but I want Sprint. And I want the Wi-Fi to be off. So as you can see, okay, these are some of the parameters that would go along with what I created in my other class. So let's go ahead and save that. And then I got to compile it to show you the errors it'll take. So let's go in here, make this a little bit bigger, and I'm going to go Java C, source path, src, and set it to the directory in classes. And the one I want to file is MyPhone drivers has changed. Okay, but let's compile them both because I did make changes at the beginning of this video. All right, so there you go like that. And let's see if there's any errors. There are errors. Okay, the error I wanted to get. Okay, so the error is constructor MyPhone in my class cannot be applied to given types. Okay, so it says I don't even know what this one is where I actually put parameters in here. Okay, let's see if there's anything else. My cell, yeah. All right, so those errors are because I don't have a constructor that takes 4 parameters. Remember, each parameter is separated by a comma. 1, 2, 3, 4. So it comes into this class and it looks for a 4 parameter and it doesn't have any parameters in here. So what I want to do today is build a multiple constructor class. So to build it, I could leave this one in there so it has a default constructor, but let's build another constructor, okay? So what I'm going to do is go public MyPhone, okay? And instead of having nothing in there, I'm going to actually have int memory capacity, okay? I'm going to go double cost. I'm going to go string carrier, and then I'm going to go Boolean is Wi-Fi on. Okay, so now you can see there are actually 4 constructors in here. All right, and now we're going to go ahead and put those into catch them with variables. And what variables are we going to use? The global variables. Okay, so memory capacity will equal memory capacity. Okay, cost will equal cost. And this is the part that confuses a lot of students. So let me talk about this after I finish this. Carrier equals carrier. And is Wi-Fi on equals is Wi-Fi on. All right, so basically what happens is they get passed over here from the other class. All right, so I think it's important to go to the other class. So here they get passed over. This 128 gets sent to MyPhone constructor. Okay, it doesn't go to this one because there are no parameters in that constructor. So it will actually use this constructor because it has some. 128 will be stuck into this. All right, and now in computer science, it is left into right. Your math class is harder because it is right into left. So if x equals 3, x equals 3. In computer science, is 3 is now put in the variable x. So from left to right. So now I have 128 in here. It now gets stuffed into this memory capacity, which is not the same. These are not the same. This memory is the global variable. In fact, in order to actually do this, we have to actually designate this as the global variable by using the word this. So it's this class's memory capacity, this cost, and this carrier, and this. That means this class's global variables, okay, are equal to these local variables. These are now local variables. Okay, they're local only to this function. All right, so that looks good. In fact, what you could do, if to make this simple, you could actually maybe don't name them the same, but programmers like to name the same because it does get confusing. What is X, Y, Z, I don't know, W, all right? And then you wouldn't have to use this. You could put X in here, okay? And then you wouldn't have to use this, okay? So you could use, these are just variables that catch the parameter that's coming over. They could be anything, all right? But like I said, a lot of programmers like to use the same so that they don't get confused of what the variable's carrying, okay? Remember, these are local and now these are global. But now our local can be carried on throughout the class because they are now contained inside our global variables. So there's a local and global variable access thing going on there that we have to keep discussing, okay? All right, so there that is, all right? And now let's see, remember, if you go up here and you have this dot, it means it's not saved. So save it. If we had to save it, we probably have to compile it. All right, so let's go to this down here and let me clear it. And let me zoom it in so you guys can see what I'm going to do. All right, so let's go up. All right, and we don't have to do both of them. We just have to do MyPhone now. All right, that's compiled, and now we can cd over to my classes folder, and I could run, let's see, myphone.driver. Okay, and it doesn't have my phone driver, Java my phone driver line 10. So let me see what the problem is here. My phone driver line 10, my cell. Looks good. I think it looks good. So I think I changed this too. So did we yeah, I think I did. Let's try it one more time because I don't know if I did that right or not. So let's go up again, and I'm in there and I'm Java my phone driver, and it has an error, huh? Says I'm not in my phone now. So let's do some troubleshooting steps here. First of all, it says my phone driver line 10. So I'm going to go to that line 10. I don't see anything in there. And so let's see if I just send my phone driver 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. And my phone.java is I have a MyPhone.java, capacity double string. I feel like I should compile this again. Let's compile everything in there. Let's see. MyPhone driver.java. I'm not seeing the problem here at home. If you are, just put it down in the notes. Too bad this isn't live. When you code live, you get a chance to have people troubleshoot you live. So let me see if I can figure this out. All right, so that's a problem right there if I can't javac these files. So let me see. Oh, I'm in the wrong folder. So cd. All right, and then let's javac everything. And so it's having a problem with my cell in my driver. So let me see in here. And it's my cell. Oh, so it's my cell 2 I've created. So I've got to save that now. And I've got to reinstantiate or reconstruct it. There we go. All right, now I'll cd to classes. And now I will go Java MyPhone driver. All right, there it is. So that time it works. So you got to go through some troubleshooting steps, and I'm glad to make theirs for you so you could see some of the problems I'm having. And maybe you see them on the camera before I do, and you're yelling at the screen, or maybe you had these problems and you could say, I remember the Mighty Code Coder had those problems, and here's how he fixed it. All right, so there it is. So my memory capacity is 128, cost is $5.99. So now that's a custom class. So I want to go on a little further with this lesson. And I know Mr. Liu ended it here, but I want to do something else. So let's talk about this, because we're going to go to the other board here for a second. All right, what if I wanted to do one, and I'm going to call this MyPhone 2. Man, I hope that record wasn't playing the whole time. I hear it turn off. I'm sorry if the music in the background was bad. Maybe it's nice. Okay, so my cell 2 is going to be equal new MyPhone. And I just want to change the carrier. I'm going to change the carrier to Verizon. What would happen if we did something like that? Create a new one and we only send over one variable. Well, first you got to know that since this is a 4 variable, it's going to look for the 4 variable constructor. This just sent one variable over, so it's going to look for the 1 variable constructor. The problem is if you look at this file, we have a 0 file constructor and we have a 4. So we'd have to make another one with just 1. All right, so to save time, I'm going to copy and paste this. All right, and I'm just going to get rid of everything except the string carrier. All right, and so now I do have a one parameter constructor. All right, and I'm going to say this carrier equals carrier, and I'm going to have all this stay the same. All right, what do you think would happen? And this is going to go into some board work here. All right, so I'm going to save this, and I'm going to go ahead and compile it. Okay. And I don't need to compile both, just MyPhone. Oops, CD back over to the other file. Okay, let me clear so you guys can see this. Oh, I'm all the way up here. Why are you so frightened, Paul? Be cool. Be cool. I'm going to get this. All right, so let's go. I got a CD in. Where do I have to do? Oh, wait, I have to actually compile it. MyPhone.java. There it is. Now CD over back to classes. And now let's go ahead and run it and see what we get. Okay, so I could go up. It's right here. Okay, so you could see I ran it and it's still the carrier Sprint. So let's figure out why the carrier is Sprint. First of all, here in the driver, I changed it to Verizon. I created a new one, and I said, let's create a new one. Oh, and I printed out just my cell. Let's print out my cell 2. Okay, save this. All right, let's go back to this one. And let's go and use our Java C. And let's do them both. All right, and let's go back to classes. And let's go ahead and go to our Java and run it. Okay, there it is. Now, so there it is. Its capacity is 0, cost is 0. But you know, in the last one we did 128, and we only changed Verizon. How come the memory capacity is 0, cost is 0, Wi-Fi is false, that's default, but it did change Verizon. So why do you think that happens? I want to go to the board and show you why that happens. Okay, so this is very interesting. So let's do that now. Okay, I'll see you on the other side. All right, hello. So now I'm over here. All right, so the reason this happens is the way that objects are saved on your computer's memory. And so I think it's a very important lesson to learn about heap and stack memory, or stack and heap memory, okay? So I'm going to draw it up, and then that example I just gave you will make a lot of sense. So check this out. So I'm going to, your computer has 2 memories, okay? One's called a stack, and the other is called a heap. Okay, now with regular variables, okay, primitive variables, they're just stored over here. Now over here, the memory is like x 3 0 1 2, something like that. Okay, and they're just stacked up, you know. And this might be x, and this might be your string, you know, like the one we created last time, my string. Okay, and they're just stored right here on the stack memory. Okay, very easy. But with objects, things are different. Okay, so here we go. We actually created a my cell. Okay, and we also created a my cell 2. Okay, and what they create is reference pointers. Okay, so the object actually gets created over here. And the object could have a lot of things. In fact, we saw it has 4 things in it. So let's go ahead and create 4 things. All right, so remember we have the memory, okay, the price, you got the AT&T. I can't make an ampersand. Why can't I make an ampersand? Something like that. And then you also have false. Okay, and so my cell points at it. Okay, and that's what my cell equals. All right, now when my cell 2 gets created, another pointer got created and another object. All right, now remember my cell 2 only changed this carrier to Verizon. And all the other ones default to 0. Now the question is, and I want you to look this up, are the values 0 or are they null? Or is null and 0 the same? So you look that up and figure that out. But this one points to that, and that's why these don't carry over to this. They are a separate object. All right, so that's why they come out as 0, and these don't remain the same when I made a new object. So that's stack and heap memory, objects, and pointer references. Okay, so you always got to check the pointers. This is where you actually declare the name of your variable, and this is when it gets instantiated. Okay, when it gets instantiated, the object actually gets created. It's on the heap. The great part about this, when you turn the computer off, they get erased. Okay, it has automatic garbage collection, and it just gets erased. Okay, so that's your little stack and heap lecture. And that goes a long ways into making new constructors and stuff like that, and kind of fits in our lecture this time. Okay, that's it. Let me switch back over. All right, and all right, something like that. And now I'm back. Okay, so that does it for this lecture. I hope you understood everything, and I hope you find classes not that difficult. Again, if you just remember that we are just packaging up data and passing it on. And now remember, when I created that object on the heap, it carried 4 variables with it. That's really powerful, where I could carry 4 different variables just in an object. And so it's just another data type, and it's a way we can port data over. Okay, that's it for this edition. Remember, making you great, helping you innovate, and just want to make sure that Paul, was there something else that we had to say? I thought there was something else we had to say. Oh yeah. And let us know if you want Frank to animate like Paul, and if you have questions, leave comments below, or go to the website at www.themightycoder.com, or find me on Twitter at MightyCodeCoder. Thanks for watching.